You know, sometimes in life, you think you've got it all figured out. You feel strongly about something. Maybe it's an idea, maybe it's a belief, maybe it's just the way you think things ought to be. And then something happens, an event, a conversation, an experience out here on the road, and suddenly your mind zeroes in on that one thing. It's all you think about. You start noticing it everywhere, like your eyes are tuned to it. And in that space, you start evaluating. You weigh it against what you thought you knew. You turn it over in your mind while the miles roll by. And here's the funny part. Sometimes with time, you realize maybe you were wrong. Maybe you weren't seeing the whole picture. Or maybe you find out you were right all along. That's the thing about perspective. It's not fixed. It shifts as we move through life, as we gather more experience, more conversations, more stories. Statistics can point one way, experience can point another. And at the end of the day, we got to be open to the idea that our minds can change. Because if there's one thing I've learned out here on the road, it's this. Being willing to reevaluate, being willing to admit you don't have it all nailed down, that's not weakness, that's growth. So today I want to talk a little bit about that. Be back in a minute. Stick around.
Dust on the dashboard, sun beating my face. Miles of highway in an endless race. Pedro's yapping keeps my head on straight. Rolling through towns, waving goodbye to fate. I got shit to do, roads to run, gears to grind beneath the sun. Pedro riding shotgun, he's my plan. Life ain't easy for a traveling man.
Hi, I'm Debbie at Kaiser Transport. I'm one of the recruiters here. If you guys ever have any questions about pay, any kind of questions about home time, where you live, all that kind of stuff, give us a call, 608-741-7739.
You know, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of news recently about trucks doing U-turns. You know, we had the guy in Florida a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago by now. Of course, I've spoken about it a few times in a couple of episodes, but, you know, are trucks never to do U-turns? Are you not supposed to do U-turns at all in a big truck? I don't think it's that we're not allowed. It's just you got to be smart about it. You know, I saw a guy yesterday, maybe the day before. There was an oversized in front of me, which I didn't see him at this moment. What it was, I was going down Interstate 40, and I saw something on the left side of the road. And so I made sure to stay in the right lane, which I could, but I mean, there was something laying in the road. And before I got to it, someone came across the radio and said, "Hey, Oversized, something just fell off your truck, and it's laying back there in the left lane." And so, I know, there's another Oversized ahead of me. He said okay or whatever he said, and then I went on up and I see the guy, but he doesn't have anything flagged. He doesn't have his Oversized banner on the back of his trailer. He doesn't have any flags on the side. He does look tall, but he's got nothing saying that he's oversized. But someone called him Oversized. So I'm thinking maybe that's what that was like. Sometimes you'll see an Oversized with a not like a banner, but like a plaque sort of, or it's made out of wood or metal, and it'll say oversized load. But I don't know, I couldn't tell what the hell it was. But as I went around him, he had some junk. He was just hauling like junk on a kind of like one of those rollback trailers. It's a step deck that would lift up and then come back so you could drive a vehicle on it. And whatever this big machine was, he did not have it tied down. You could see the chains loosening up as he was going down the road. But anyway, he was slowed down in front of me, and I moved to the left lane, and he did a U-turn behind me. I watched him in my mirrors, and he jumped out in oncoming traffic. Now this, from what I could, he was driving a nice Peterbilt, and from what I heard him say on the radio, I told him, as I went by him, I said, hey, whatever that is, you know, it fell out, it was like at mile marker 342, laying in the left lane. Because I figured he was going to walk, go back there and walk, or he was going to hit the next exit. But no, he fucking did a U-turn. And there were two trucks coming toward him, and he just pulled right out in front of them. I mean, without a reasonable time for those guys to be able to slow down. He didn't care. Now, from what I could tell through his voice, this was a white American guy. This wasn't an illegal alien or it's a white dude. Even though I couldn't see him, I pictured a big hairy white guy. So I mean, it's not like it's just the Indians or anyone from another country who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Everything about this guy, except for the truck, it doesn't matter that you see a big Peterbilt or whatever. That doesn't mean they're a great driver or something. That doesn't make you an automatic professional or expert or anything like that. You have dumbasses driving out there, or novices. So don't, just because someone drives a Peterbilt or a K-Whopper doesn't mean they're experts. So what? So making that point, and you've been seeing it on social media too. I've seen a few posts where guys are showing trucks doing U-turns in the center of the road or whatever. So, you know, is it sometimes authorized? Is there sometimes that it's okay? Is there ever a chance? There is. There are times where it is completely legal for a big truck, tractor trailer, to do a U-turn. But you don't just hit the shoulder, jug handle it, jump out in front of traffic. You got to make sure no one's coming or whatever, or that you're not going to jump out into two trucks hauling ass down Interstate 40, speed limit 75 miles per hour, and you've got two trucks in each lane, and they're both hauling ass. You know, one's passing the other, so one's going a little faster, and then they've got traffic behind them, both of them. You got to be smart. This guy that I saw yesterday or the day before, whatever that was, he was not smart at all. First of all, he's got shit falling off of his trailer. Second of all, when I go by him, I can see his chains, you know, loosen and tighten from the bounce. That tells me he doesn't know how to secure his load. And it takes a professional to haul what he was hauling. He did not feet tall. Actually, I'm 14.8. I was 15 feet tall when I picked up this initial piece in California. I don't remember what city. It wasn't far. Oh, Garden Grove. I picked it up in Garden Grove. And initially, when it was put on my trailer, I was 15 feet tall. Now, the ground was kind of unlevel and whatever. But then I went back to our yard and I got more weight put on me. I got an extra 8,000 pounds. So I think that kind of lowered me some more, and it made me 14.8. But some of my permits all the way across, all the way to Oklahoma, and I'm in Oklahoma now, but even across Oklahoma, I'm permitted for 15 feet tall, 12 foot wide. So anyway, I'm traveling across what is 281 here in Oklahoma. I was traveling across 40 and took Highway 58. I got my permit right here. You don't have to have a paper copy of your permit in Oklahoma. Probably best to write this down, but anyway, up ahead, I've got to do a U-turn. It's on my permit to make a U-turn. I would have never have guessed that an oversized load permit would tell me, tell the driver to make a U-turn. I'll show you. Right here. I'm on this Highway 281, which is Oklahoma 8, US 281. Right here, make a U-turn on the OK8. And then we're going to be getting back on. We're going to be getting back on I-40. How about that shit, huh? Just thought I'd mention that today. Some food for thought that, U-turns are authorized for big trucks. You can do a U-turn in a truck legally. But you gotta be smart about it. Not everybody is smart about it. And even driving these trucks, excuse me, you might be driving a nice big Peterbilt or K-Whopper. That don't make you better than the fellow that's back there pulling, driving a Cascadia. There's that frame of mind that some guys have, that they're just the absolute shit because they're driving a truck, a Peterbilt 389 or 379, and they're just so much better than everybody else. Well, you ain't shit unless you know what you're doing. And that's what some of these guys' problems are, is they think they know everything and they don't know shit. And so they can't be taught. You can't be taught anything new when you think you know it all. Crazy. Anyway, I'll catch you next time. I just come off of home time and basically had a vacation So haven't had anything in a couple weeks. Took a little time off, and we're back at it. We're heading to North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. So catch you next time. When you come to Kaiser Transport, you're not just handed the keys and wished good luck. You're brought in, trained, tested, taught how to handle some of the most unique and challenging freight on the highway the right way. You learn to think ahead, work smart, and most importantly, work together. Because here it's not just about the load, it's about the team. You don't just show up and call yourself one of us. You earn that. Through sweat, grit, and trust, you become part of a brotherhood that looks out for one another, supports one another, and takes pride in rolling clean, tight, and professional every single day. At Kaiser, you're not just a driver. You're one of us.
One of us.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
Come on, man. I know you can do it. Come on. Come on. I know you can do it. Come on. Come on up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. You got it. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Want to eat? You hungry? Come on. What? Come on. Come on. I'm gonna shut the door then. Come on, man. Let's go. I knew you could do it. You did it. Yay! Good boy! You did it! Yay! Come on!